The next Met Gala is already making headlines for its focus on one of fashion's most influential and controversial figures. The event will honor John Galliano, who is known for his theatrical and dramatic designs, but his legacy is also marked by anti-Semitic and racist comments that led to his dismissal from Christian Dior in 2011 and a hate crime conviction in France. Galliano has since publicly apologized. The exhibit is set to explore his creative accomplishments and controversies. Joining us now is CBS News fashion contributor Lauren Sherman, who is also a fashion correspondent at Puck. Good morning, Lauren. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
I want to get into it because Galliano is widely considered as one of the most influential designers of our time, right? So what makes his work so groundbreaking, and how has he helped shape what we know as the fashion industry?
So he was the designer of Christian Dior for almost 20 years, and he sort of was integral to the change and the transformation of the fashion industry. And he was also one of the final designers to sort of do innovative fashion. The 90s was sort of the last time we saw anything new, and Galliano and Alexander McQueen, who's been the subject of a Met exhibit previously, were the two final sort of big designers to change the way how we dress.
So, Lauren, as you know, it does seem for many that the fashion industry seems to have had or at least has moved beyond any level of discomfort with Galliano. But he had a very public downfall. I just want to remind our viewers, he made a series of anti-Semitic and racist comments. He lost his job at Christian Dior, was convicted of a hate crime in France, as Kelly pointed out. He's apologized. He's undergoing some kind of rehabilitation, but it often feels as if the fashion industry excuses these types of remarks. Let's remember Coco Chanel collaborated with Nazis, and she's still celebrated today.
So this happened 15 years ago. About 10 years ago, Anna Wintour, the global editorial director of Vogue and the person who sort of runs the Met Gala, she really worked hard to give Galliano a second chance in the fashion industry. She got him a job at Maison Margiela, where he worked for about a decade. And he has been meeting with Jewish leaders for the last 10 years. There was a big documentary in 2004 that sort of outlined what he has done to ask for forgiveness and to rehabilitate himself. He obviously had substance abuse problems, and that had to do with the anti-Semitic outburst in Paris in 2011. So it's, yeah, of course, the fashion industry is they keep their own, and he is one of their own. And there was forgiveness a long time ago in fashion. Globally, we'll see. I mean, do people know who John Galliano is? They know who Christian Dior is. Do they know who John Galliano is? Is this going to really make a big deal? But also, are people going to show up? Because he doesn't have a famous name like Yves Saint Laurent, one of the only other designers to ever have a dedicated show at the Met.
You know, Lauren, the Met says the exhibit is going to present Galliano's creative achievements and address this controversial past that he has. How difficult will it, though, for a museum to properly address that, especially when the Met Gala has a lot of criticism in the past that it is simply out of touch with all of these celebrities gathering, and now you have something like this on top of it?
Look, Andrew Bolton, the curator of the Costume Institute, fashion reflects the culture. They have to address this. They have to. John Galliano's tribulations and everything that he has gone through has to be a part of this exhibit, because that is a part of his body of work in some ways. So I'm not worried about the exhibit. In terms of the gala itself, look, I can imagine a world where that night no one really talks about any of this stuff. Maybe there will be, it'll be addressed in some ways by Jewish leaders who maybe end up attending the gala. We'll see. I don't know. I think what we're going to see is a lot of vintage Dior and a lot of vintage Galliano, and maybe for the party itself, this isn't a big part of it.
All right. We'll see what happens. Lauren Sherman, always great to have you, friend. Thank you very much.